I'm gonna get straight to it. Triple ones, eye owners, the God that is 13. You know, you could just call me triple, you could just call me ones, three, it's me. Now, I don't think I have that much storage. I've been trying to get more storage space on my device, so bear with me. I'm gonna try to start making longer videos and things of that nature. But you know, support the channel, like, comment, subscribe, share. You know, hype up the videos if you like, you know, the content. Now I'm gonna get straight to it. You know, again, I guess it's one of those days where to talk about the whole gang stalking thing, and you know, it's like the saga continues. You know, as you, I don't know if you can hear and at all, like, is it just me or sound like I think planes are flying, but I'm gonna try to stay focused. There's so many distractions. You know, it's really not easy, you know, walking this straight and narrow path, you know, and not to say that I'm perfect. I always say that because I know, you know, where I come from, and you know, and what I became, and I am proud of myself because I know there's a lot of things that I used to do, you know, that I don't do anymore, you know. And I just feel like the more, you know, you start awakening to the truth, start awakening to, you know, the fact that this is a simulation, you know, but it's so deep because the rabbit holes go deep, very deep, you know, because knowledge is infinite, you know. So soon as you think you know everything, you realize you know nothing, you know. But the reason why I always say I speak to those, one, I speak to anybody, you know, to start off. You know, I speak to anybody that can relate. Like I said, you could be working, not working. You could be a woman. You could be a man. You know, whatever. You know, if it relates to you, it relates to you. You know, because it can help. It just levels to it. But I do specifically speak to those that's at the high level, the heavily watched individuals, the ones, you know, that's here breaking changes and making changes, you know. And certain of us doing that just by existing and, you know, speaking about real things that a lot of individuals go through, you know. But some people may not want to speak out about it because it's just not something they're interested in doing. And then there's some people that focus on targeted individuals and this and that. But it all manifests before anything in the spiritual. This is why when you have these demonic monitoring spirits, you know, they know where you at all times. You know, if you got a cell phone, if you got anything like which we all have in certain devices in your homes and, you know, everywhere on the streets. That's why I could never understand how so many people could come up missing. You know, I do know a bit more, but that's for a whole nother story. And, you know, it's heavy sensory. So, you know what I mean? You have to catch these videos. Sometimes I might be speaking in, you know, not necessarily codes, but there are certain things, you know, you can't say because obviously, you know, it's censoring going on. But the saga still continues, you know. For those ones that's on this journey, just know, you know, especially if you're being attacked by so many different, you know, certain entities and so many different spiritual attacks, some that even may manifest in the physical, because you are approaching a breakthrough, you know. You've been the underdog for a long time. And plus you've been seeking you shall find, you know. You've been seeking, and as you've been seeking, you got a lot of, you know, agents, you know, that's created in this matrix to distract you, to watch you, to make all kind of noises, to you know, and that's why it's hard too for certain individuals that may be working jobs and they unhappy. That could go for many people, but I speak definitely to those ones that stand out. No matter if you don't try to, you just do. You know, you don't go with all the crowd and what everybody else do. You try to fit in. We all have tried. I know I've tried to fit in, especially in my younger days. I've tried to fit in, and I just realized, like, I really don't fit into these groups. When I was drinking and doing certain things, it was like my mind, I was on a different realm almost. You know? Like, things are hosting your bodies. See, just like alcohol, you know, it's spirits. That's why the natives and different people, you know, called it spirits, because you're drinking spirits. But that's for a whole nother video too. You know, so I think my mind was foggy a lot of times and doing other things and smoking and, you know, so, but I always knew that something, it was more to whatever I was doing. It was always bigger meanings, more purposeful meanings to life than just working, trying to get a bunch of money and women, men, and, you know, material things and diamonds and all this stuff. I always overstood a lot of that stuff, and I never worshiped it. You know, I'd rather rock crystals and certain things and do studies about certain things and try to wear jewelry and this and that. And these evil ones see that. Once they see that you're not going with the program, you know, you're going against the grain, and how powerful you are just driving them insane. You know, they're obsessed with you. They got to watch you. They got to watch everything you do. They got to study your movements. You know, they swear up and down they don't like you, but they watch everything you do, especially if you're on social media of any sort. They watching your videos, but they know they like it, but don't want to like it. It's a spiritual war. Just know everything going to be all right. You know, I've been wanting to give up so many times, even the closest people to me, you know, I feel turn their back on me. And I've always trying to be there for people. I have to learn that you have to let certain things go. It's not easy. You got to learn to let certain things go. Trust me, I'm loyal to default. But it's so many different agents. Some people may not even know they're agents. You know, people that's placed in your life may not even know it. That's even deeper. Everybody may not even know they're an agent. You know, monitoring spirits, watching you everywhere you go. So it's like something special about you. You got to know that, because the devil don't spend time just watching and plotting and strategizing just for any old Joe Smoke or some regular whatever the labels are, or some regular person. You are what is it? You are extraordinary and extraordinary. You can't be ordinary. And you can't be tamed. And once they anger you, they anger the God. So they definitely should be very afraid. And I speak to you. I speak to those that carry the crosses on their backs. You know, yeah, they watching everything you do. It's kind of scary, but at the same time, it's nothing to fear. You know? You are your biggest enemy. There's really nothing they can do. You know, even if they attempt to try to take certain ones out the physical avatar, if the mission ain't done, you know, your ancestors, the spirit guides, inner guides, different type of beings, it's not going to allow that to happen until it's time. You got a mission to fulfill. Just to know that. Just know that if they bothering you, watching you, stalking you, you feel like everything you've been doing has just been going downhill. You know, there are so many signs that you may be a part of what they label the called, the chosen, the elect. You know, you're strong. You're stronger than most. So, of course, they have to come against you in legions. You know, but they shall fail. Just know the only one can stop you is you. Let them watch and let them witness greatness. You know, so I'm going to end the vid. But, you know, like, comment, subscribe, share. You know, hype up the video if you like the content. You know, it's more to come. I'm dropping these vids right now as I'm going through it, you know. And for the ones that know, when you hear that hovering everywhere you go, it's deeper meanings, you know. Seek and you shall find, you know. But yeah, I'm out. It's triple.